Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. He who knows himself knows his Lord. A Mudhākara by Shaykh Mohamed Faouzi al-Karkari from the Friday gathering of May 8th, 2015. God says in Surah Al-An'am, قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ بَصَائِرُ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ. Inner visions have come to you from your Lord. فَمَنْ أَبْصَرَ فَلِنَفْسِهِ. So whoever sees clearly or has clear inner vision, it is to the benefit of his own soul. And whoever is blind, it is to his detriment. I am not a keeper over you. Inner visions, or basair, single basira, outwardly are demonstrations, proofs, and clarities that result from careful discernment of the intellect. Inwardly, however, the basair, or the inner visions, are those that penetrate and pierce through the veils of the intellect. Inner vision sees pure meaning, ma'ani, while outer vision sees receptacles, awani, or containers. Inner vision, basira, is opened by God for those of His servants whom He loves, and its sign is the shining of the lights in the witnessing heart, until the lights cover the entire body in every direction. When that happens, the boundaries and delimitations vanish for the servant, and he becomes a pure abd, a pure servant of God. Whoever has this clear vision is upon manifest guidance with his own self, and whoever is blind to it, it is to his own detriment. Now the servant's first foot upon the path is receiving inner visions, basair, and clearing away the darkness of existent things from his heart. This is when the flashes, al-bawariq, and the gleams, al-lawami', become manifest for him for a single glimmer, al-lamha, until he becomes firmly fixed in witnessing these flashes and gleams. This first ray of inner vision enables the spiritual traveler to witness the proximity of the real to him or her. The disciple must observe proper courtesy during the state of their manifestation to him, because in that moment he's in the presence of God the Generous, al-Karim. After this first foot of receiving inner vision, the servant ascends to the eye of inner vision, or inner vision itself, Ainul Basira, which enables him to witness his own non-existence and the existence of God, the real. The direct tasting of this is when your body of darkness passes away from you, and you subsist by and through the lordly light. Then the servant ascends from this witnessing sight to the witnessing of the reality of inner vision, Haqqul Basira, where he comes to know the meaning of neither non-existence nor existence. This is the spring source where the opposites unite, and union and separation are directly known. And this is where the reality of Kan Allah, God was, and there was nothing with him, وَلَا شَيْءَ مَعَهُ, is directly discovered. If the servant is able to drink from this overflowing ocean, then he stands at the podium of the eye of inner vision, which is the station where he directly witnesses the existence of the real in the presence of neither non-existence nor existence. Then the knower of God sees nothing in the mirror of his heart except for the real. He has one side turned toward lordship by way of his absolute or non-delimited spirituality through the properties of divine power, and another side turned towards his own human nature, which is delimited by the properties of divine wisdom and which subsists through the secret of divine sustenance, or through the attribute of al-Qayyum, Qayyumiyya, divine sustenance. At this madhar, or this witnessing site, proximity and distance come to naught, because the two mirrors, the spiritual and the human, both belong to the liminal self, an-nafsul barzakhiya, which brings together the manifest arc and the non-manifest arc, al-qaws al-zahiri and al-qaws al-batini. This is only the case for the knower of God who has achieved mastery, tamakkun, and not for the beginner. God says, سَيَجْزِيهِمْ وَصْفَهُمْ. He will recompense them for their own character, for their own attribute. Truly He is wise, knowing. Thus, God recompenses His servant in a manner that is commensurate with His own character. If a person honors the other, God honors him. If he belittles the other, God belittles him. If he is virtuous toward the other, God is virtuous toward him. And if he harms the other, he will be recompensed by his own attribute or his own character, as per the aforementioned verse in Surah Al-An'am. Now those who are characterized by separation from God will be separated by God. Those who are characterized by union will be united by God, and so on. You drink the water you drew. When the haqa'iq, or the esoteric realities, become unveiled, you will know what your pen has written down in your own book. So use a luminous and an elevated ink, and avoid lowly and dark ink. Inscribe upon the tablet of your soul whatever you wish, with whatever ink you wish, for the sword of the verse, we did not wrong them, but they wronged themselves, وَلَكِنْ أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ, rules over you. You're the one who wrongs yourself by your own self if you ignore the reality of yourself. The one who sees his own character is never wronged. You rule over yourself, through yourself, for yourself, in the mirror of your own essence. Thus, the ruling properties of your own image all return back upon you. You are today building castles in the garden or digging pits in the fire, and no one has wronged you. The secret behind this matter is that you are the vicegerent as well as the purpose behind creation. If only you were to open the eye of your heart to the book of your soul and to read the pure meaning of the verse, and in your souls do you not see? Surah Al-Dhariyat, وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. And if only you were to attain the key to the treasure of he who recognizes himself, recognizes his Lord. The soul is the mirror for the genuine character traits, and no one can have knowledge of their soul unless they lower themselves before the one who can teach them how to return back to the primordial inblowing, an-nafkhatul asliya, of the spirit. To have knowledge of the soul, one must erase the shadow of their own existence from the mirror of their heart. Only then are the lights disclosed, and only then is one's foot firmly rooted in the ocean of inner secrets, and one's soul perfected and firmly stabilized, so that it becomes a pure mirror that is receptive of the disclosures of the attributes of the real in their complete perfection. then the servant will recognize his soul as a mirror, and he will recognize the real through God's disclosure in his soul. God says in Surah Fussilat, "We will show them our signs in the horizons and in themselves until it becomes clear to them that He is the real." The Holy Tradition, or Hadith Qudsi, confirms this meaning upon the tongue of the Beloved alayhi salatu wassalam, wherein God says, "O my servants, it is none other than your deeds that I reckon for you." Sahih Muslim. Their reckoning is their manifestation through their disclosed forms. The tradition continues, "Then I will fulfill them for you," upon the unveiling of those forms, that is. In this world, you perform actions and then forget them, while in the next world, you will see them. The tradition continues, "Whoever finds good, let him praise his Lord, and whoever finds other than that, let him blame none other than his soul." That is, the one who finds good praises God because he witnesses the disclosure of the benefactor upon him, al-Mun'im. The one who finds other than that, meaning ugly forms, should blame none other than his own soul. This tradition that we just quoted sheds further light on the hadith, "The one who recognizes himself recognizes his Lord," or "the one who knows himself knows his Lord." Because the one who recognizes his Lord sees none other than God, for all apart from God is illusion and ephemerality. Such a person never sees an evil, by virtue of the saying, "All good is between your hands, and evil does not reach you." The knower of God sees only beauty, and so his recompense is never interrupted. God says, "Save those who believe and perform righteous deeds, for theirs shall be a reward unceasing." They have a rightful claim over everything because they see none other than their own character. So be beautiful, and you will behold existence as being beautiful. The way to attain this is to characterize yourself by the character traits of the real within your own delimited existence, and in a manner that is worthy of servanthood, until your character traits become purified, your breaths become elevated, and your constitution achieves equilibrium. For the beauty of the Spirit's command cannot be known except in a state of purity. This is why the lam of constriction, or lam al-Qabd, the second lam, the lam right before the ha, in the divine name Allah, is the disclosure site in which your spirit becomes constricted and your body, your perishing body, is split into two halves so that you can attain the reality of gnosis. For in the ha, you see the light by virtue of divine mercy, but in the lam of constriction, only the one who inhabits the spiritual realm can know him. From there, the wayfarer gazes at the physical realm and each day witnesses the reality of limanil mulkul yawm, whose is the kingdom this day. It is God's, the one, the paramount. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد.